Now, we had a couple interesting things happen today that I thought were worthy of taking a picture of. And of course, the biggest one is every time Luciano rides his Ducati, everybody wants to see how many more highly polished parts he has, and painted parts and carbon parts, and I think it's putting out 300 horsepower right now, according to him. I wanted to get a nice picture of Vlad's bike. This is one I really like, and boy, this is for a boxer twin. This is probably like the ultimate boxer twin, and this thing is really in immaculate shape. If you look at it close, like all of Vlad's bikes, this is really, really immaculate. The thing I like about it, it's kind of a naked bike, but it's got a little fairing, and you look at it from every angle, it's a very, very unusual bike. I don't think many were even made or imported. Here's Vlad and Luciano talking about the possibilities here, and just an endless supply of little things to check out on the bike. Really nice. I like the blue wheels. When Larry paints his Ducati blue, he should paint the wheels blue too. Now, this was the surprise of the day. Now, boy, I guess everybody my age, we've all got great memories of old Nortons, Commandos, and every British bike. I mean, they started the cafe racer thing, but this one, I don't think you see in the pictures just how clean and how authentic it is. It is really a special bike. There's a lot of polished aluminum on it. It's really clean. And one of the things we wanted to see, and of course everybody gathers around when you have an old kickstart bike to see if it's going to start on the first kick. And so all the vultures like myself all gathered around, and it started on the first kick. Amazing. It's an amazing bike. One of the brand new 800 Brutalis. I don't think Joe was there when this showed up, but we could have parked them together and got some pictures. Joe had to leave early this day. But beautifully styled. They said the only thing wrong with these bikes, in the report which just came out yesterday, I got the magazine, that they haven't figured out the fuel mapping yet for the bottom end. I don't know how they can sell bikes, these high-end bikes. They should have that figured out, I would think, anyway. Anyway, I just look at, there's just no end to the amount of stuff on these that's worth looking at. They are really pretty bikes. And this is an 800, not a 675. And Joe's is a 910, so, oh my God, look at this. Brutali. I don't know how you say that. Brutally? Brutali. I'll have to ask Luciano. Brutali. Everything has to have some fancy name. It could never be that you could pronounce it or figure out what it means. No English translations. Anyway, I was going to videotape this, but I thought, nah, it's good enough to get pictures. He was getting suited up to start the Norton. We were all admiring this bike. Everybody up there this day was looking at this bike. One kick, fired right up, idled like a dream. Even Vlad was impressed. Vlad and I were standing there while he kicked it over, and talking about how difficult it is to restore. It's possible, but it's not easy. And this one is a beauty. And of course, all the things, I always try to take the Ducati pictures. I know Luciano and Larry are both sitting there trying to figure out what carbon part they want to put on next. You know, we always try to make a few new friends. Visit with some of the old ones. See some of the bikes that you don't really see every day, and this Honda happens to be one of them. Don't see a lot of them, but the paintwork, anybody that's seen one up close, the paintwork is really like a mini sparkly flake. We always want to take pictures of the Ducati mufflers, so we have plenty of ideas for this upcoming winter. And I'm not so sure, the way these mufflers stick out the back here, you're pretty much free to do what you want back there. That's pretty interesting. And there were at least 3 examples I can remember of, and I'm looking at the paint here. I always look at the paint. The Harleys have always the top quality, top level paint. whether you like Harleys or not, that you can never fault the paint. They really have that figured out. Some of the older guys never get sick of looking at the old bikes, especially here, the beautifully restored. I've seen this one before. Beautiful, absolutely immaculate. 1100. Had about, if I remember, about 30, same mileage I had on my GS. And it's the same era bike. I'm not sure what year this was. I notice he's got the little clock up here like we have. That's pretty cool. So maybe he invented it before I did. A nice $9.99. Now Vince here is looking at the orange paint. We have to do some orange paint work this week to try to match that color. And it's just, well, we're going to get it. I'm not sure it was as close as the guy would have been happy with who owns the bike. But we'll work on that later this week. An old retro Guzzi, and boy, these are loaded up with nice little details too. Here's, as if it wasn't bad enough, here's a bike, the whole bike that color orange that we're trying to match. Always a lot of Ducatis. It seems like maybe the most common bike on the mountain is Ducati. I don't know. Vince's BMW, nicely restored, and over the winter we hope we're going to get some more parts of it really museum quality. Snowflake wheels, I know I've seen a pair of them restored with Mercedes-Benz silver paint. I know they look beautiful. I guess this gas tank, look at the strap on it, the gas tank. Maybe they made a model that came chrome like that and I don't even know it. Chicks Bandit. Everybody loves these old bikes. Everybody. And always some new people. What's nice is you always meet new people. People that want to share their stories of motorcycling. Some old friends, some new friends. Some cars you haven't seen before. Some cars you can't even afford. Some cars you can't afford the taillights to. Some cars you can't afford a hubcap for. Anyway, this was the high point. New fella, hadn't met him before. Had one of the new Hondas. And this was a beauty. I've never heard a guy rant and rave about how happy he was with a new bike. It's got all the correct chrome on it. Vince checked the fuel mapping. The fuel mapping is perfect on this. And I mean, that is, if you're looking to make a cafe racer, boy, for 10 grand you got to start, you don't even have to touch the engine. You know it's going to run for 100,000 miles without a tune-up. Fuel injection, beautiful paint, absolutely beautiful paint like all Honda. In fact, it probably is the same color as the other Honda that was up there, the red one. Vince wanted to sit on it. Comfortable as can be. Probably a bike you could go on an all-day ride with no issues at all. And to be honest, if I didn't have as many bikes as I have, I'd be buying one. That is one of my choices. And we took some video of cars here, and I remember this wasn't really worth copying because we really, there was too much action going on. Cars were parking and coming around a corner, and I wanted to get some pictures of the cars up close to Ferraris. For our friend John Cafaro, of course, who was big on the instrumental design of the Corvette. And anytime you look at these cars, the thing that jumps out at you is just how beautiful they are. And obviously, if you're a semi-professional driver, you can get the most out of them, but I'm not sure amateur people can even come close to appreciating just how good some of these cars are. And when I look at the engines, I just think, wow, just look at that Ferrari engine. I took some pictures of it before. Just absolutely beautiful. Now, one thing I wanted to grab is I'd love to get a piece of that seat cover there and make my seat for my FZR. With that picture, but always have that beautiful leather. Hand stitched, by the way. watching that on television. They showed a couple of the people that do the hand stitching with the needle. Just beautiful. Anyway, it was a wonderful day.